Welcome to Live and Learn. We killed Hutch. No, Hutch
is he not coming today?
No, Hutch has a previous engagement. We didn't murder him. But we have a special guest, Hunter Kozak. Welcome to the pod, Hunter.
Hi, thanks for
having me. What up, Hunter?
Hello.
Hunter, tell us about yourself. If people don't know you, even though everyone does because they watch Channel 5 and also unfortunate recent events, who are you? What do you do?
I've got a degree. So I make videos on TikTok and YouTube. I make videos usually centered on philosophy because I've got a degree in philosophy of language and logic. I'm also working on a degree in mathematics, so I usually do like statistical analysis as well on I don't know, a whole range of different issues. Those are my sort of primary focuses, but I usually use them to to peer through politics, even though I don't have a poli-sci degree like probably most people here. I don't know what I know. Pisco's like a lawyer. That's like your that's.
I have an econ degree. I have an econ degree, but
yeah. Does anyone here have a poli-sci degree? I think we're all equally unqualified to talk about politics.
I love it.
We don't have the degree. We're like Professor Liang. What's his name? Fuck.
Professor Liang or.
It's a J.
Is that the Holocaust denier / Iran war predictor?
Well, guy? I just learned that he was a Holocaust denier, but yeah, no, he apparently just has a BA in literature. So should he really be commenting on whether Iran is gonna be invaded or not? I don't know about that.
The answer is probably no, but the answer is also we live in a democracy, so we kind of has to.
I'm so surprised the extent to which people have just been having him on podcasts and shows with like zero vetting of like, oh, this guy's fucking insane.
I don't know who we're talking about. Who's Professor Liang?
Liang. It's Liang. He's been on a couple things recently. Majority Report. I want to say like Anna Kasparian show. And this guy, they were having him on.
Wait a second. Was that the Anna Kasparian show?
I don't know what it's called, man. I don't watch it. Whatever she does with.
She has a new show.
No.
Is it just the Young Turks? Is that
maybe or like the one she does with the Grifter Asian woman? I don't know any of these people's names. Right?
Oh, her take.
Wait, what's this person's name? Yeah. It's Lang what? What's the first name?
Lang's the last name. It's like Professor Liang, right? Am I crazy?
No, I did.
Oh,
there's I don't know if you know this about last names, but usually millions of people have them.
That's true, especially millions of people in East Asia where they all have like one of the three surnames.
I looked up Liang Professor and probably about 15 people came up because they tend to be fairly well educated. Oh no, I'm gonna get canceled.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's with a J, or is it an L? They're both spelled in two different ways.
So you don't know who we're talking about.
I do know who we're talking about. This is a great way to start the podcast. God, Hutch, come back. We're in shambles right now. Anyway, the point is, they're just letting him on the podcast, and they're the credentials that he supposedly have is that he predicted Trump's win in Iran war, which is like, oh wow, great one, dude.
Wait. He predicted war with Iran and Trump winning.
Yeah, and it's
so like, one of those is a 50-50 coin flip. And the other one's pretty close to a 50-50 coin flip. So we're at a 25% chance.
Well, in what world do we lose? Like Trump would just keep going for 3 years. You know what I mean? He would never admit defeat.
Did Pisco leave? Pisco, we can't see.
No,
him.
He's just incredibly good at standing still. No, yeah,
he's wearing had some right now.
Issues. They got him. But no, it's like do you guys remember when the World Cup was happening that one year and they had an octopus that could like?
Oh yes. So yeah, what's so fascinating about that is that there's like, I was just reading a book about this because everyone's like, what are the odds? And it's like they do this with like 100 different animals. And so, like, if you take the World Cup and you go over the last 10 years, that's is that 1/2 to the 10? Actually, that's a pretty high
all right,
number.
Mr. Math major.
Wait, that's a hugely high number or a hugely low number. I don't know. I actually don't know what's going on there. Maybe I would need to investigate further because 1/2 to the 10. How many times has this octopus predicted the World Cup?
I don't know. It was like eight matches in a row or something, which is like not insanely. Unlikely.
That's pretty insanely
it's
unlikely.
It's a 50-50 shot every time.
Yeah, but that's what's 2 to the 8?
Well, the point is the octopus did it better than he did. He did it for two things.
That's 1 in a 256. So less than a 1% chance. But like if you get 100 octopuses, you know, or like just animals in general.
100 lit professors who deny the Holocaust in a room predicting who's going to win the election and whether or not we go to war with Iran. I think you get a fair selection of them that you could have.
No. Totally. For that one. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit curious about the octopus, but yeah, the one where it was like, yeah, I think Trump's going to win. Oh, he does. Let's get this guy everywhere. We got holy shit.
Who saw this? Yeah, maybe in 2016 I'd give you a little more credit, but
yeah, dude, it really pissed me. I remember in 2016 I had this obnoxious fucking roommate who was like screaming the whole time that Trump was going to win, and then I was like, no, I don't know. I don't think so though. Like it doesn't look like it's super likely. And then he did, and he was like, he wore that like a badge for like a fucking year, and I'm like. You didn't know more than me though. You just guessed and got it right.
Yeah.
So
sorry about that, guys. Am I back?
You are back.
Okay, so this is what happened.
And he's not lagging.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no. Verizon is having like an issue. It looks like it's on right now, but it might cut out in like a second. If it does, I'm sorry. I think it's okay.
Well, first, I wanted to get into Hunter. You have been on the forefront of very contentious topics as per your debate history. We know each other through UFA. You were there during the Charlie incident, last person to talk to him. You talked to Erica Kirk. I wanted to get your view on just the rhetoric, the inflammatory kind of escalation of political partisanship in the past few months, and like how you have personally seen that as someone who has been like one of the main targets of potentially a lot of downstream effects.
Sure, that's a super broad question. So the question is, what do I think about the political environment after Charlie got shot? Like,
or it's just like how has it affected you personally? Not only like how both sides are going against each other, but like how much stuff are you just getting? Like like, hey, you're a CIA agent.
Jesus Christ, you have no idea. I could hold on. I could show you a DM I got today. Right, like it's still going on 6 months from now. Hold on, let me pull a current. Let me read this verbatim.
Wait, like you're getting death threats and stuff?
Yeah, here we go. You fucking disinformation agent. I know what the fuck is going on. We all know you're in on it. They caught you practicing your reaction minutes before Kirk even came out to speak. You will rot in hell for eternity. Fucking sell out human waste of oxygen. I got that today. So you can imagine that like 6 months later, like if I'm still getting those today, how
it's like the Zapruder film. You're gonna get these 50 years from now. Dude.
I know, and it's like I want to be a math teacher. Like this is this is fucked. Like my kids that I'm gonna be teaching are gonna like.
Oh my god, they're raised on Charlie Kirk memes. You understand?
I know.
That, right?
It's like, dude, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do math.
You're gonna say, does anyone have any questions? And everyone's gonna raise their hand, and then you're like about math, and then everyone's gonna put down their hand.
Right.
But yeah, so like, do you see? I went after that moment. I think there was a good 2 weeks where I was really frightened they were going to use this as like a Reichstag fire, like crackdown.
Honestly, they did shit with it. Like it was. Yeah. It's a little insane how. I mean, I don't want to give myself too much credit, but I do think that I did discredit Erica Kirk quite a bit with my question. And I do think that people genuinely saw a little bit of hypocrisy that she had. But it's also like I don't know if. Okay, wait. So the question is implications after the shooting, like after Charlie got shot.
Yeah, and how the parties are affected.
I think very often. I mean, I'm against political violence of any kind, and that's largely speaking because I think that the ramifications after the shooting almost always lead to bad ends. And I think it was there have definitely been some serious bad things that happen afterward. I think I saw a lot of people eject from like normal conservative pundits and sort of drift towards people like Nick Fuentes. That's my personal opinion. I have no idea actually what the numbers are, but I would bet that Nick Fuentes' audience has grown and people like kind of the more, Ben Shapiro has like shot and like has completely squandered. And I consider him one of the more reasonable conservative pundits. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think that that's very worrisome because you can see extremism grow within a party. But I also think that the Republican Party has largely failed to really capitalize on the event at all. And that's largely because Turning Point is kind of a stupid organization that just was like, we're going to do halftime shows. And that's the impact that we're going to be doing. So I don't know. Is that an answer?
Yeah.
I think it showed how hollow their movement is, that it was really just a personality and it was about getting farming clips, and he was really good at that. And once that was gone, what was there left, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I will say, as someone who went to the town hall for Erica Kirk, she is so not a political figure at all. Like, she genuinely has no political insight or interest, like genuine even interest. It felt like the entire town hall was just like, it was like a concert for Jesus. Like, it opened with like Matthew West, and every question just pivoted into how we need to accept Jesus into our lives. It was very like, I don't know if Erica knows what she inherited. But that might be a little critical. I don't know.
Can we watch your question? Do you mind if we show it?
Sure. Yeah. You can
You guys
show
want to
it.
watch
You have
that?
it on
I
hand?
don't know if I'm sure you see. Yeah, I have it.
This is 3 months late to the discourse, but yeah.
It is, but like, I think this is good. And a lot of people haven't seen this. So
Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting to
just-
see, like, okay, it's
Josiah
been a few
showed it,
months
yeah.
now. Now what do you think has come from this? You know?
yeah, we can also retrospective. Let me know if you guys can hear this or can't hear it. Oh, I can't hear it.
Your calls for peace and unity. Erica, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your calls for peace and unity. And I'm likewise horrified by the people in my so-called camp who were cheering about Charlie's murder. I believe that they stoke the flames of violence.
Oh my God. Did you see this live? This face?
Honestly, I was really trying to just like lock
get your
the fuck
question up.
in
Yeah.
and like, because I also knew that I was going to be like, there's a very strong likelihood that my face was going to be plastered almost everywhere. So I'm like, I cannot, if I crack a grin, I'm going to be on Fox News.
You would have
Not that like I wanted to, not that I found it funny genuinely, but it was just like, dude, there's a weird sort of internal reflection that you have to have where it's like, even though I know I find this very serious, if my face doesn't show that it's serious, then it's like all of this is for naught. So
you're under a lot of scrutiny and pressure. I got
yeah. So I was.
This would have
think I was
caused me
looking
to
at her,
stutter.
really.
This would have caused me to genuinely question if I like hurts.
I don't remember her
stealing my
looking at
soul.
me. I don't know. I don't think I looked at her like at all.
Good choice. All right, hold on. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, why does it do that?
People on either side of the aisle stoke influential people. Even worse is when powerful, influential people on either side of the aisle stoke the flames. When they do it, the flames can become an inferno. And this leads me to Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth, who has more responsibility than anyone else to put the flames out. Just last month, President Trump called on 6 Democratic lawmakers to be tried for sedition, which he clarified was punishable by death. He then reposted a simple message: hang them. I think that you've been making strides to bring peace to our country, and that turning point has been asking Democrats to decry the individuals who cheer for violence. I have and will continue to decry them. But any good faith effort to stop political violence must hold both parties to the same standard and expectation. So in that spirit, will you condemn the violent rhetoric of Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth?
Yikes.
I appreciate your question.
I think I'm going to pause here and just say my one criticism of that perfectly worded question.
Yeah.
It's too long because you gave her you could see the calculation in her brain where she's
No, but like genuinely, then she doesn't have an excuse of like, you know what
how
I'm
bad
saying?
this answer. Yeah, that's
like,
fair. Let's watch the
yeah.
answer. Oh my God, why does it do that?
Ever say, yeah, you know my heart. Why would I ever say, yes, go murder people? This is so much deeper than just one. I understand your sentiment. I do. But this is also so much deeper than just one person. This starts at the home, okay? This starts with family. This starts with a seed that grows and grows. You can choose to have evil in your heart, or you can choose to have light. What you consume and what you absorb from the outside world will manifest itself. No, I will never agree with political violence. My husband is a victim of it. I'm a victim of it.
And
No,
that goes on, more rambling, more dodging, but
actually hard to watch. It's just so hard to watch.
Yeah, not each. I don't. Does she invoke Trump's name by the end of that at all, or she's just like completely dodged it? Like
I don't remember.
That was insane to me.
I haven't I don't rewatch that video very often, but I do know that like one shout out to Josiah, who's a friend of the channel, who really helped me word that question. I called him up like right before doing this, and he was like, "You have to invoke. He is the most powerful and influential person." If you know anything about Josiah, like he says that every fucking day.
I know
that's exactly how he would say that.
Yeah.
So
that's his words there.
Well, if I know anything about Josiah, you had some editorial choices that you cut out the meaner parts of that, no? Or was he also being a little more tailored?
And you're objectively wrong. You'll always be worse. Always worse than the worst Democrat.
I mean,
by the way, he super chatted to give this question before Hunter for information. We watched this together, and it really is an excellent question because, it is speaking about the thing that supposedly she's supposed to champion, this fight against political violence.
Right.
It's using relevant tweet, not Jan 6 shit, not shit from a million years ago. It's like very recent stuff.
Yeah.
And then the question is a simple one: will you, as you say here, condemn it? And her answer is both word salad and non-responsive and difficult to get there. I thought it was excellent, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, the first draft, there were like 12 examples. You know, like you can go down the list of like how many times Donald Trump has invoked violence, how many times he's encouraged his followers to like, you know, beat the shit out of protesters, how we'll pay for their medical bills. But like, again, those were also 10 years ago. Like he has been in the political conscience for like so long that there's so many examples to pull through. But yeah, obviously I don't remember exactly when the hang them happened, but I think it was like less than a month before this aired.
Which is crazy. Like, if I was a Republican grifter, the easiest deflection is, well, Donald Trump says mean things on Twitter, but he didn't shoot anyone.
No,
he couldn't even do
exactly.
that.
That's the thing. Is like I was expecting, like this is the wife of Charlie, who like Charlie would be able to fucking handle that question, and he would bite the. Shut the fuck up. He would.
It's not the worst, Hunter. It's not the worst because Nicki Minaj was on stage with Erica, and went on stage with Erica. She's like talking up Trump, and she goes, "And you know I love the assassin." Pauses. JD Vance, our vice president, and then like just pauses for like a minute.
Right.
So don't worry.
Yeah, Charlie was someone who would. Hold on, let me define this phrase. Decide to do something difficult or unpleasant that one has been putting off or hesitating over. There's probably a phrase there that I'm not gonna say because that's anyway.
It kind of gets to the point about the dwindling effective turning point and the lack of them using it as a Reichstag fire moment or whatever. They don't have a principled position against political violence.
Right.
And I think that part of the reason why all of their cries are so hollow is because no one actually like believes that this is a sincere position they have when they're, you know, doing jokes on Paul Pelosi, doing jokes on political violence and lying about it with respect to the murder of, now I'm forgetting her name, Melissa Hortman. I think that's right.
Yeah, Melissa Hortman. Yeah, but there was also like Josh Shapiro's house got burned down like very recently. There was
right.
Like
targeted.
There was like a really good example that I had cited, and I didn't even know if there was going to be like if it was going to be a debate sort of where I could give a response back. Turns out I couldn't, and I wasn't able to give a response back. But like Caesar Soyak was a Trump supporter who mailed like 16 pipe bombs to Trump opponents, including journalists and politicians. And when found out about it, Trump said that like he's not to blame, that he doesn't care about what happened. And like, sure, it was a while ago. It was like, I don't know, 7 years ago. I have no idea. I don't remember off the top of my head. But like that, like I said, like even if you go, okay, well, Trump isn't someone who kills someone. It's like, okay, but what does he say about people who do like
right? And that's the standard they want to apply to Democrats, because what they were trying to do is say, well, because you say Trump is a fascist, because you say that will naturally lead one to go do these kinds of perverse acts, these kind of
obviously
acts.
Obviously there's only one politician who's ever called Trump Hitler. And that's JD Vance.
JD,
and there's fucking if like we can swear in here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Donald Trump calls Democrats fascists all the time.
Yes,
all the time. And I agree that it's a little bit less consistent rhetoric of his base. It's more consistent rhetoric of the left. But like Donald Trump still says it constantly. And
communism, and you have to take their worldview, right? Like their worldview, they call communists, this is Jack Posobiec's, unhumans. They think that being communist is worse than being fascist.
And that Zoran is implementing like Sharia law into New York. So
all
it's like
for them, relative to them, communism is one of those labels, and they use it all the time.
Right.
Well, she dodged your question too. That this bullshit is just one person. No, he's not. He's the president of the United States, as you laid out. Like he's not just some random dude.
Yeah,
and that's true also, by the way, of anyone who is going to accuse the celebrators. And again, I condemn the celebration. I don't think it's right. I mean, I'm sure it's traumatizing for you too, having been there. I don't know.
There was, and I've seen some sick fucks even at my own school. So I go to UVU, right? Like every single day I walk past that courtyard. Like it is very hard. And there are a few students that I do know, pretty left-wing students who are part of like counter protests or like civil. There's this guy who's like, whatever. I'm not going to out any specific people, but like I know people on campus who are cheering for that happening, and that it really grossed me out. Really fucking like made me like. There's a sickening aspect of that like those are people on my side, and I don't want to just ignore that issue. You know,
no, you can't.
I'm happy to decry. I'm not happy to. I will decry them, right? Like I will decry them, and I don't want those people in my party. But I also don't want to hear it from the Republican Party because like the amount of aggression that you guys consistently engage in and abide.
Yeah,
I mean, like I could keep coming up with examples. Like I just remembered the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping that Donald Trump just fully fucking ignored because he didn't like Tim Walz. Like
now they're saying it's a hoax. Yeah, and they're saying it's a
right.
hoax.
But then he also took credit for the FBI stopping the plot. Like you can't even keep track with this guy. It's
I'm curious. You must have been standing in line for a while, and obviously everybody's focused on that moment. But what was the rest of the day like for you there, and your experience going to that event?
I don't know if it's interesting what I went through.
Okay.
It was a lot like there was an event. I knew he was coming. It was, I think, started at 12. I got there early. I got there at 9 or 10. So it was first thing in the morning, and then I stood and yelled at the Republicans in line all day.
But I'm sure you don't debate people in person very often like that, and you're not in the middle of a MAGA crowd. Oh, are you?
That's Hunter's thing.
No, like I'm okay. Oh, 100%. Like I come from a family where we all yell and scream at each other and debate constantly and hold each other's feet to the fire. But also like I know everyone at Turning Point at UVU because like at the UVU chapter, just because every time they put up a bench out, I would always go over and just not yell at them, but kind of yell at them. And like, I do love those guys. And I think that they really appreciate me too. Like, I don't think I'm being disrespectful, but I do think I'm
but it was Charlie Kirk, Ira, to Ira's point. Like, I understand it. And yes, I believe it because
I agree with this, that it was very, I've never met Charlie before. And like, it was very, I was rattled for sure. Because this is like, I knew that 2,000 people were looking at me and there were cameras on. And if I fuck it up, it's going to be YouTube clipped for his show. Like I was very aware of that. But I was also like, my wife was filming like 15 feet away because, you know, I wanted to put that on TikTok. You know, I wanted to sort of, I don't know. So yeah,
I understand.
It's a very...
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think it's a delay. No, I was just going to say that, that like, I can totally understand how it could be incredibly traumatizing even for people there, for obviously for the family, for supporters and stuff. For me, when I saw it, I was like, I was shocked. It was like really like one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. I try not to go back to the footage ever. Here's the thing. One of the reasons I think that people have, it's not been quote unquote used to the extent that it should have been, assuming it should be used, or that was the intent of the Republicans, is because you have seen this crop of influencers who question the official narrative, and who say, you know, shit's not right, including some of the people,
including Candace,
Candace,
the biggest.
Yes,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, the fucking, like, you would think that in a moment like this, that all of the conservative influencers would say, no, this is a left-wing plot. They're out to get us. They're out to kill us. Like, this is why we need to crack down on voting. This is why we need to crack down. This is why we need ICE in the streets, because we don't know who the next Tyler Robinson is going to be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You would expect that. But because the Republican Party has been infested with people who are genuinely delusional, and there's been no filtering process at all for that like type of. There's been no like checking each other.
They don't,
right?
they
It's a
don't
close
have,
system
they
of
don't
thought,
have
and
enough purity testing, and we saw
Yeah.
it winter when we were at AmFest. Was AmFest this big rallying cry? This TPUSA started, Republican like rally for just being a crazy Republican, where everyone should come in united and in the wake of Charlie's death, come together and be like, "Fuck the left, let's push back." No, what did they do? The whole thing was all the anti-Semitic people, Groypers, fighting
Yeah.
regular people. They couldn't
100%.
even unite at their
and
own.
they
big
deserve
rally.
each other. I want to get on my soapbox.
100%.
They deserve each other.
They, like-
I want to go for it.
No, like fucking Ben Shapiro got his
Yeah.
got completely eaten alive because he created that Ouroboros. He created that like clip farming political strategy that everyone else anyway, and he's been so lax on keeping his own people in check. So yeah, I don't.
How do you feel about the left's response now with not just Unfuck America, but like Jubilee and all the debating you're seeing? Do you think that we're finally catching up to these guys now?
I don't. It's a good question. I don't know if we could ever really maintain the same thing that Charlie did, but that's because I do think that at its core, it was a flawed program, like what we're saying, right? Like the reason why there were so many people involved in Turning Point and wanting to watch Charlie debate was because like there wasn't a lot of purity testing, unfortunately. And I am a big purity tester. I'll criticize the left constantly. I don't like a lot of our representatives, and I'll criticize specific messages that happen. And I think a lot of people don't like that about the left, how like so consistently self-critical we are. But I do think I see, and there's a balance, obviously, but I see the way that the conservative pundits handle themselves, and I'm like, dude, I'm so glad we're not like that. Like if I had to pick and choose which side,
I do Biden off of the the ballot. I mean, is that to me,
he performed
it's a
one
much
debate
different.
poorly.
Right, it's much different. And here, when you have now, when I'm making a reference to chickens coming home to roost, I don't mean with respect to Charlie. What I'm talking, although there is a lot of violent rhetoric on the right. What I'm talking about is specifically the nature of the system of thought that you would the right wing would sort of support a lot of these creators who have no compunction about lying and spreading misinformation when it comes to all manner of issues related to public discourse, related to election, related to bullshit like that, vaccines, public health, etc. And now when those creations that you made, Ben Shapiro had Candace Owens on Daily Wire. And a lot of these people were starting to become more Groyper adjacent in terms of the rhetoric or who they're hiring in these various, the Doge situation. So in that context, I don't feel bad at all for them struggling with those sort of bad faith actors, those grifters.
Right.
And they really do deserve each other.
Right. And like, I do think that the issue that they consistently have is not a lot of rigorous argumentation. Like you could see a lot of flawed thinking that they consistently have. And I do think that Ben Shapiro is maybe the best thinker on the conservative side. And like when you platform someone like Candace Owens, who has kind of always been nonsensical, and I know Ben knows that. I know that Ben knows that that's a fucking grifter who's a little bit schizophrenic. And when he platforms someone like that, yeah, chickens come home to roost. Like your entire movement gets completely derailed when they need him the most.
He wants to capitalize on shit on black people, shit on poor people, shit on gay people, and then she crossed the hidden barrier of, oh wait, she can shit on Jews too. She can turn this bigotry towards me.
No,
oh God,
sure.
Get out of my party! I didn't realize this could possibly backfire.
Right.
And now he's reaping the rewards. He's reaping the consequences of that. And you see his views are plummeting, hers are skyrocketing. And it's like, yeah, they were amplified off of you. Like their success and is a leech on your entire model, because it turns out crazy delusional conspiracy theories about, I don't know, Macron's wife being trans are going to sell better than even your already pretty inflamed, right-wing takes. I'm a little happy that he has to deal with that. Honestly, it's like, finally, like you face the consequences of your actions.
The French president, Macron's wife. I didn't see that one.
It's
This
an
is
insane
Candace's
litigation. Yep.
Oh, really?
They're being sued now in Delaware state court. It's an insane fact. The allegations are crazy. You know that phrase, they made 1,000 Charlie Kirks today? You know that phrase, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's this big meme about like how Charlie, we're gonna have a bunch of people like Charlie. I don't think that that's what the death of Charlie Kirk has caused. I think it's gonna create a lot of gripers.
No,
I think
yeah,
for
100%.
whatever Charlie Kirk was, he was unifying in the following sense. He tried to bring the different strands of conservative thought together and do so in a way to establish some sort of coherent through line in a mess of relationships and a mess of incoherences and immense like contradictions in ideology. And he made a genuine effort, even with respect, you're seeing all these clips of Charlie Kirk going around about the Iran war, where he's like, regime change war is bad, regime change war is bad. I bet if this war happened while he were alive, that he would try to close ranks with the president and get as many members
100%.
of the Republican Party together, so they're not actively criticizing the Trump, but maybe from the behind the scenes pushing whatever. I don't even believe that shit about that. I think that's all signaling. But all that is to say,
Pisco, it's the same as the Epstein take that he had when the Epstein files were being blocked, and he was so pro release the Epstein files, and then
he shut up,
and then he got a call from Trump.
He said this
on air. He was like, Trump called me up, and he said, "Don't worry about it." And he's like, "I trust my president."
Yeah, it's literally the "Don't worry, kitten" meme.
Right, but the next generation of young Republicans and conservatives, they don't have that desire. They have the desire to tear it down. And I think people think I go too crazy on it. I think that Fuentes and the Groypers are going to be thought leaders in the Republican Party, and we have to learn to deal with that because they are different than Charlie in key ways, and in some ways, them being more ideological is dangerous because I think that they're more committed to some of their principles in a bad way.
It makes them harder to counter for sure.
I don't disagree with you, Pisco. I just think they're going to lose if that's where they're going. They're not going to be empowered.
Maybe
those are less.
It's hard to say because I agree with you, but I also agreed with you in 2016. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no fucking way
but look,
that this guy could be president.
They talk about.
I agree.
Well, they talk about like Tucker Carlson is their hero, and like he's going to be the nominee and stuff. And now he's supposedly he's on the verge of being indicted by the Trump administration for talking to Iran. That
would be the best thing that they could do for Tucker. If they indict him on a
100%.
Mara charge, that's the best thing they could do for the Groypers. The best thing they could do for Tucker because they make a martyr out of him in the movement.
What is going on?
Who do we think?
What is happening? I'm being arrested. Because demons.
Wait, did you see SNL totally stole that bit from Gumtown?
From Nick Mullen?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they just did a worse version of it for sure.
Yeah.
I guess my point to you, Hunter, is I don't think they have another Donald Trump right now. I don't think Fuentes is
I agree
that guy.
with you. Who do you think? Who do you guys think will be the next? Like, do you think that they're going to go back to sort of the neocon ways and like
Ryland Hanlon
Massey up?
Ryland Holly?
No way.
That
fucking guy.
Well, no, I guess you have to say, who do you think the nominee would be in 2020? I think right now, if I had to put money on it, I would say Marco Rubio.
No, I don't think so.
I think he's rising.
That's way too establishment. I think he's such a normal Republican, and like just looking at what the Republican Party wants, I don't think that they would be okay with someone who's like that establishment, if that makes sense. Like I think they got a taste of Trump and they want some Trump-esque figure again, even though I don't think one exists.
But just remember, it's going to be 2.5 years from now, and he's going to get crazier and crazier, and he's bleeding support, hemorrhaging support right now.
Trump?
Yeah.
No, I agree, but they want a Trump-esque figure, right? They're like, just not a pedophile this time.
Oh, not a pedophile this time.
I don't know if
that was my bad. I didn't realize that.
I don't know if that's their breaking point. Yeah. I don't know if they care that much.
Yeah, maybe. It's really hard to say with the it's really hard to say.
Trump said today
we have a Josiah wants to weigh in. This is levity, completely off topic. But he says, as important and somber as the topic is, I'd like to ask Hunter if he agrees that J.J. Abrams is right to resurrect Emperor Palpatine for the rise of Skywalker to bring the Skywalker saga full circle.
What an excellent super chat.
I knew as soon as he was going to fucking come in.
You guys have heard this, right?
Huh? Have you guys not heard his opinion on Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, it's like the best movie or something.
Yeah, he thinks it's the greatest.
He thinks like a commercial.
The best sequel.
It is the best sequel, but that's not saying much. That's like it's like saying the tastiest poo. Like they're all bad.
No, that is a false opinion.
Okay.
The 8 is really good. Last Jedi is genuinely a beautiful
God.
movie.
Oh, God. All right, get this guy off the pod.
This is what
Who
me and
invited
Josiah
this guy?
fucking fight about. But yeah, he's such an Emperor Palpatine stan that just the fact that he was in the movie made it all better.
It does. It makes it better. That's like why the third prequel
God
is the best.
damn
Because
it.
as bad as those are, it's got Ian McDermott in it. That just makes it better.
So do the others.
All right, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Josiah has now also been able to route our super chats to route us back into politics, and he asks, "Who did you vote for in 2016, Hunter?"
Shut the fuck.
Oh, was it?
Why? Who did you vote for?
No, here's the problem. Me and Josiah know each other too well. I mentioned one time that I had a phase. I did not vote for Trump. I just want to be clear. I did not vote for
Gary
Donald
Johnson.
Trump. No, worse.
Jill Stein.
It was Jill Stein. Yeah, I voted for Jill
Oh,
Stein.
Wait.
boy.
Hey, I think I voted for Jill Stein too in 2016.
When I was fucking 19 years
You
old.
did?
Like, we
Yeah.
can.
I think
Wait,
I was,
maybe
I was,
20.
nine- I
Someone
was
said you were a socialist. Do you identify as a socialist, Soypo?
no.
I think I probably call myself a socialist when I was like 20.
Only insofar as you can apply that to like the way that Europeans call themselves socialists.
Right, it's
which
always
is,
like-
which is just a dem sock or a sock dem, excuse me, which is like not
All
a socialist.
right.
But to be clear, this was like my first election, super Bernie bro, and I was like, okay, I'm in California. Maybe we can get the Green Party to like a 5% margin or something.
I also
That was like my justification behind it. And I wish I knew what I knew now about Jill Stein and just how crazy she is.
Yeah, I will say, just to defend myself and to defend Soypill over here, neither of us were in swing states. So, and I do think
That's
I
the cope.
remember
That's the ultimate
making
cope.
maybe. And I
What?
but I still regret my vote. I'm just saying, like, I didn't cost it.
Yeah,
There's
no, I
nothing
regret my
did.
vote too. I'll come out and say it. I wish I knew about vote trading at the time. I wish I had a platform at the time so I could have like told more people to vote for Hillary. Like, yeah.
But let me ask the Jill Stein voters, what do you think led you down that path that you can see now that you would advise people, hey man, be
Good
careful
question.
here?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you.
Oh well, I'll go first. So basically, my thought at the time was like Bernie was like the first politician who really was saying the things that I'd been thinking since I even like knew what politics were. He was talking about distribution of wealth, or like I would see all this like poor people, rich people in the area I'm in, and I'm like, there's some way to fix this. And I feel like resources aren't allocated as best they could. Maybe we could tax people more. Maybe we should care about the environment more. And he really spoke to me, and I was like, okay, awesome. I'm excited for the first time about politics. I'm young. Let's go. I'm donating to his campaign. I'm going to rallies. And then he lost. And, people were able to pick up, even Donald Trump was on this like anti-establishment, and it's overheated. On
Okay, he's done.
He was just bragging about how he just bought a new camera and it was such a good camera. And
He needs a dummy battery.
It
You need
had-
a dummy battery, bro.
Hey, look, I'm still going to speak. All right. I'm just not going to
Oh, okay.
passionately am. Anyway, the point is that the anti-establishment rhetoric was flowing, all right? And I wasn't like fully on board with like a Donald Trump presidency, but I was like, look, Hillary, is going to win California regardless, and I just felt, well, maybe I shouldn't give my vote to her, as it won't change the California election, but maybe I can get some like third party or like start promoting the steps towards a third option. And looking back on that now, I realized not only is Jill Stein insane, but how kind of fruitless that is in terms of, one, that third party option is never going to go forward, but two, that I've bought into this anti-establishment rhetoric, allowing me to hate a candidate that for all intents and purposes would actually have been really fucking good, just because I'm not satisfied with the ultimate conclusion. I let perfect be the enemy of good, it was a mistake for sure.
So I'll go through mine, why I voted for Jill Stein in 2016, which I regret, even though I was living in Utah at the time. So I had a bunch of roommates. What?
You shouldn't regret it. I want to say that. You can say whatever you want, but I don't think you should feel bad. We all did things when we were younger, when we knew less or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure. I get sure. I agree with you. I'm not up at night screaming like what? I don't. I do think I'm moving forward with.
You
my
can
life.
regret it a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like oh shit, that was stupid of me, right? I think this is about as far as it goes. But I had some roommates who they called themselves socialists. It's always such an ambiguous title or label, the word socialist, because it's never really clear what specifically it means, right? Like, are you a Marxist-Leninist where you're like in support of the USSR, or are you just like Denmark a little bit, I remember him just talking about how Hillary Clinton was the architect of, I don't even remember what he would say, but it was just like, he was like, she's going to bomb Libya. She's going to bomb Yemen. She's going to bomb, Iraq and Iran, and like we're gonna go with to the war with the Middle East. And honestly, it doesn't even matter because both of these guys are gonna do it. And there is this rhetoric of like both Democrats and Republicans are the same party. Like it's the uni-party ideal. And I think I really believed it. I wasn't really politically conscious when Obama was president, and I wasn't really aware of what was going on. This was the first election I was ever old enough to vote for, and so I was like, okay, shit. Like I've heard this from like he wasn't the first person to say this. There was a lot of intelligent people in my life who were saying this, and I think what really, really, really changed my mind, like obviously Trump got elected and I was like, fuck, like there's no way it would be this bad. But then when Biden became president and I really liked a lot of the stuff he was doing, like, I'm like, wait, hold on. Why are we saying that Democrats are even a little bit similar to Republicans? And instead of changing their mind, right, instead of seeing the socialists sort of like update their belief system, they locked down more and ignored a lot of the things that Biden did and downplayed a lot of the things Trump did. And I think that really made me pretty disillusioned and recognize that, largely speaking, Jill Stein is like, I mean, she's often called the groundhog, right? That she pokes her head up only every 4 years. Yeah.
That's one of many reasons.
I
Sure.
appreciate you guys sharing that because I'm seeing a lot of Trump supporters now starting to get off the Trump train, and I think 3 years from now, we're gonna have a lot of people who say, I never was that into Trump or whatever. And it's like, I don't really want to hear people say sorry, whatever. I want to hear, how do we avoid that happening again in the future kind of thing.
That's super fair.
Yeah, it's good to compliment and not shame people for saying, hey, I've learned and changed my mind. To be like, hey, you idiot, you voted for Jill Stein, and not, oh, it's good that you saw the error of your ways. So you're like, hey, you used to vote for Trump. Well, I'm glad you come over. How can we prevent this again? That's really good, like way IRI to, rectify and move forward, not, rub it in their face.
And just to be clear, I do think that they would deserve to get it rubbed in their face, but I also don't think it's effective. Right.
Yeah, well,
and if we care about changing people's minds, we shouldn't be doing it. Like it's a very outcome oriented approach because moralistically speaking, these people should not poke their head out when it comes to politics, maybe ever again in their lives. But that's not the way a democracy works, right? Like we have to appeal to everyone. We have to be a Big Ten party and work with the people who voted for Trump as well.
So, I'm a little sold on bullying.
I hear it. I believe in, multifaceted approaches. I think
probably interpersonally, IRI's right. Like, don't rub it in or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like bullying is probably successful.
Well, but Pisco, can you make an argument for bullying leading to the results you want to see?
Yeah, I think
yes,
bullying people publicly causes people to change their minds more than being nice.
I think that being nice to the person will make the person more likely to change their mind. But bullying someone who's obviously stupid will have them center in their belief system. But all of the audience who's watching this will go, look at that fucking idiot. I'm not gonna be like that guy. I don't want to get bullied. Yeah. I gotta not do that thing.
Bullying Ben Shapiro, yes. Bullying your mom, who's a Trump voter, probably not gonna work.
I'll go a little further. I'd say bullying the movement, I think, is worth it too. Like calling out, just look how cringe and how ridiculous this whole movement is.
I hear the concern, Ira, because like it's always a tough look to be like criticizing voters because you look like a sore loser.
Even though voters are at fault.
I think American people, like I blame Supreme Court for a lot of this. I blame the Republican Party. I blame some of Biden's decision making, but I blame American people too. And it's not usually kosher to go after the people. So I understand that. I think that's like a fine line to walk interpersonally and with respect to being too critical of like voters and stuff. I hear you on that, but I do think that there's some, again, I'm not an expert sociologist or whatever. I think there's some empirical evidence that bullying is a good tactic to change people's minds, but I might be wrong about that.
I do think it's the spectators' minds. It's not the person you're bullying.
Sure.
I would bet. I don't know, but speaking as
give me all your lunch money. See,
I think that bullying strategically, I do resonate with this because I do think that you can bully someone for their thoughts while still like, if you have that rapport with someone, like sometimes you get in a debate with someone who's like so aggressively conservative and so obnoxious, and you will like I have this guy who I just like, there's a little bit of mocking element to this. And I do this with my friends, right? Like I mock my friends for stupid shit that they do. And I do think that like, there are some people who resonate with, when you're straight up with them. and you're like, no, this sucks ass, and you're kind of stupid for thinking that. And they're like, whoa, thank you for telling it to me straight. But there are some people who are so egotistical that blocks them. So multifaceted approach, probably. I don't know, but
Has this
Don't be violent.
Has this whole experience changed how you approach politics in any way, Hunter?
No, genuinely no. And I think that is I talked about this with my brother as well, who was my brother was in a school shooting 6 years ago, and he didn't change his opinion on guns. Yeah, he's like he saw a bunch of it reminds me of this I don't know, I think you're still you after a traumatic incident or something. Like, you're still, if you came to your situation from like rational points of view and through like a genuine amount of thought, I don't think that like incidents like this will shake you off of that. Like, I think that I'm more horrified, but those are like emotional states. I don't think any of my like beliefs have been affected even a little bit.
Wait, so your brother was pro-gun, and then he's still pro-gun?
Yeah, low-key, he saw the shooting happen, and we lived in a pretty, actually kind of conservative part of California, and he was describing like fucking police officers who were just like dads at the school, just like come in with like flip-flops and like grab their AR-15 from the back of their truck and like come in, and he's like, that's my fucking hero. I'm so fucking glad those people exist. If that makes sense. Like, there is a duality to this that he didn't lose. And then my dad, who's very like, he's a very like classic Democrat, he became more anti-gun, but he was anti-gun to begin with. You know, I don't know how much these incidences really shake who you are as a person.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't want to speak for, you know.
I agree. I think if Charlie had made it, I don't think he would have changed his stance on guns. I don't think anything that he said about guns prior is contradictory to saying like, hey, there are bad actors that have them, which is why I thought it was so silly. People would bring up that quote.
It's ironic.
Like,
it's ironic.
Yeah, it's ironic for the guy who said that, you know, some gun deaths must be acceptable if we want to have guns. But,
right. It's like, do you not think he knew that?
Yeah,
but there was going to be that risk every time he showed his face in public.
Yeah.
After saying the things that he said.
Yeah.
Not that he deserves it, but like, he was certainly conscious of that being a reality.
Yeah, that was his position, and knowing that could happen to a small number of people, because it is a small number of gun deaths, as high as it is, and it shouldn't be as high as it is. It is not a super high number, and some people view that as acceptable. A school shooting might not change your mind about that.
No, yeah. And my brother is a testament to that. And it is a very interesting, I don't know. I think everyone, one of the weird things happening, I get approached by a lot of conspiracy theorists, and they're like, if I were you, I would be doing everything I want to know, like, what specifically happened at that event. I'm like, yeah, but you're not me. Like, you just fail at empathy. Like, I know that if you were there, you would spend your entire life doing like like how some people have like models of the JFK, like, you know, the grassy knoll and everything. Like, they would get so in the weeds, but I'm not that person. You know, I've never been a conspiracy theorist. I've actually kind of always hated them. And like, I don't think that being at the center of it, I mean, in fact, it's polarized me in the opposite way, because I've seen people make shit up about me. I've seen people go into ChatGPT, why did Hunter Kozak do it? And then it goes, it gives like 10 reasons as to why it did it, and 9 of them are false.
Wow.
Well, what's the
number one reason?
the reason. Yeah, I don't know. It like hallucinates. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, obviously, like, it's like
hallucinating. Maybe we can transition into the news, guys. Did you know that Netanyahu is AI? Did you know that? Check this out. This AI video of Netanyahu. He's got, this is weird, 5 fingers. Is that strange to anyone?
That's so crazy.
Isn't that crazy that he has 5 fingers?
Is that a real picture though?
This is a real photo from, and so this must be fake, right? Because
do any of the conspiracy theorists ever consider the implication of like what it would mean if someone like, why would they even do that to begin with? Like, obviously at some point he's gonna have to pick up the phone and call someone.
Yeah.
Or like go in front of a camera. But also too, it's like, sorry, it's also too like what I guess what is the benefit? Like, why are you doing this? Why would we be doing an AI video? Why would we be pretending?
Yeah, to what end? Like, are they going to do it forever? Do you think like they're just going to lie until like like 2050? Like, okay, you got us, guys. He died 24 years ago. Like, no, like if he was dead, there are implications, geopolitical, world-changing implications, and they're going to tell people because it's not going to stay secret forever.
Yeah, I'll give them a little bit of credit and say that photo like the thumb does not exactly look like a thumb. It kind of looks like an index finger. But it's also like, if it's blurry, like sometimes shit looks a little weird. Like that's just part of looking at a picture. And someone else pointed out that like there was another picture that kind of looked like 6 fingers, and it was a very blurry picture. And I kind of looked at it, I was like, I do think that kind of looks like 6 fingers, but it's so blurry that of course like frame artifacts are gonna,
but they're also so behind. AI is mastered hands at this point. The AI hand thing is like a year old. Like that's not, now you look for like weird dead eyes and like little like artifacts otherwhere, but not in the hands really.
But I'm also gonna flip it and say it's also so far behind when it comes to like having a video of 5 minutes of someone talking, and you're not gonna say that that's AI. I don't know. I called Xfinity recently. I'm gonna put them on blast because fuck those guys. I called them up and like I was like, talk to a representative, and I talked to an AI agent, and I was like, I know you're AI, because he would go, oh great, haha. Let me right. It's like,
and they say so like to do the thing where it's like, let me write that down, and they play an MP3 of typing noises. That shit infuriates me when they pretend like they're listening to you.
And I'm like, I know you're AI, and they go, I am not artificial intelligence. I'm like, like I don't think that they can mimic people really that well still, like even a little bit. I think that you can have images that trick you, but I think if you're talking to someone or seeing someone for like a 4 or 5 minute video, I don't think AI is that far, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I've been tricked on AI before.
Well, I think the rumor started because Iran's new leader put out a written statement, and I honestly think there's a good chance the guy's not alive. So I think, they're not AI recreating him, but at the same time, they could be playing a game where it's like, this is the new leader. The guy's not alive, so there's nobody to target. So it is an interesting situation. But I don't know what the hell.
Wait, you think the new leader of Iran is not alive?
Yeah, the new leader of Iran could be dead. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. So they're like projecting to just like when it comes out that he is dead, it casts doubt on the whole narrative, sort of thing, or
no? So this gets them through the war, and then when the war's over, they announce he succumbed to his injuries or something, or he had a heart attack, and then they get to nominate a new guy, so they avoid like getting targeted. I don't know. This is my own conspiracy.
No, wait, that's not that much of a conspiracy, because it's like I would bet that like it's not like you're watching a video. Like I'm comparing it to the conspiracy of like Israel is creating an AI version of Netanyahu and broadcasting that to people.
Well, they did that because they people were saying he's dead, that he was killed in an attack.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a conspiracy theory. I think that what actually happened is he's in gay conversion therapy camp right now.
Oh, now that's possible. Yeah.
No, did you hear that he's possibly gay?
Netanyahu? That's cute.
No, the Ayatollah, the new Supreme Leader.
Don't fucking know us like that. Aren't you up to date with your conspiracy theories?
Obviously, it's the Ayatollah.
Obviously, it's the Ayatollah. God damn.
No, wait a second. No, like there's inside reports that Trump laughed uncontrollably when some State Department or some intelligence people said that they have good evidence that he's gay.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Trump would just laugh if you called someone gay. Like that's his sense of humor.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, it's just
to be fair, that is
gonna come down. The thing is, though, your analysis there. I love the analysis, IRI, because I think it's possible that he's either very wounded, dead. Who the fuck knows? Maybe he's gay. Maybe he's not gay. Whatever. But it doesn't relate to Netanyahu directly. I think the Netanyahu stuff is just cope. They want it to be real. I think a lot of people want it to be the case that they're tired of seeing Israel being able to do whatever they want. Some people go farther than that, and they just think that this guy should be dead. And so that's why they make up this conspiracy. And there's more of it too. There was like the coffee thing. They're like, the foam, it didn't fall out.
Yeah, so the surface tension couldn't possibly hold together the tip of coffee. Like spoken as someone who has never drinking a coffee or like a cup of water and tilted it a little. Like, do you know
listen, what it actually is very. I think that these are very comforting ideas for whatever reason. Like,
I agree.
Even the notion of Charlie Kirk being assassinated by a broader conspiracy. These are comforting notions for people. They're
Yes.
security blankets. The notion that it could just be like a kid, a guy
Yes.
who was either crazy or is a lone shooter. That's like a very scary thought for all of these influencers, let alone people, that it could be capricious, random. I think it's a comfort for them. They
fully
want
agree.
to believe.
They want to,
because
and they
conspiracies
also
give you control. It's, hey, if I know who's conspiring against me, it's the state of Israel, and if I disobey them, then they'll come after me. Well, I just have to follow certain rules and navigate the Illuminati deep state a certain way, and I'll understand how everything's working. And this could happen to anyone at any time, because anyone can have access to a gun in this state.
Yes, you can be gay too.
I will also throw out. I'll throw out, like, I'm a pretty rabid, like, murder mystery, and I've got like a murder mystery fan, and like I have a book club over, and like we like read between the lines, and we like have cork boards and stuff, and have like documents that we share with each other. It's a very fun experience to work out this puzzle, right? I think that people also kind of enjoy just the puzzle aspect to it, and there is a reality, just someone who's been at the center of so many conspiracy theories. I also think that people don't even consider that this is like real life. Like I had, there was this guy who made like 15 YouTube videos that were like labeled Hunter Kozak is the shooter or something. And it was just like fucking like 100,000 views. Like it was crazy. And I would get like these mass amounts of DMs when it happened. And I'd finally, like, after like 2-3 months of it, I finally I'm like, I need to get this guy's number, and I like reach out to like a whole bunch of people I know, and eventually I get the guy's
went
number.
after him.
Yeah,
and I call him up.
You know a lot of people like that you have connections.
Yeah, true. I hit up Netanyahu, and he's like, all right, let me get the Mossad agent that's covering this guy. And I hit him up, and I call him, and I'm like, hey, this is Hunter Kozak, and he fucking like you can hear this like jump, and I think that like I'm like, yeah, dude, I feel like the amount of death threats I've been getting is a little bit much, and I just wanted to reach out. And he was like, you've been getting death threats? I'm like, you've been telling millions of people that I killed this guy. Like, I was like, what the fuck are you for? And I there was another conspiracy theorist that I've been talking to recently, and I sent her like all these DMs I've been getting, and she's like, holy shit, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Like, I do think that like people don't recognize how rabid people can get about this.
Yeah, you're like a TV character. You're like, they're solving the Law and Order episode, and you're like, hey, I'm a real person, and this has implications on my life. And you're like, what?
My brother went to prom with someone, and she was also at the event. And to the conspiracy theorists, that's a fucking holy shit. There's two people, and they kind of know each other. I've never even met this girl, but there was this Instagram page that was just like 10 fucking pages of just like, here's where she was at this specific moment, and here's who she talked to, and then she reached out to news reporters here, and they interviewed her here, and here's how she knew my younger brother, and here's how they're all connected. And she was like it was like she mentioned in the comments like hey, you guys, back off, this is psycho. And they're like, we're just asking questions. What you well, you can't just ask questions anymore?
Well,
why did it happen on a Jewish holiday?
Yeah.
Did it?
Well, hey,
no. I just don't.
Whatever. 8 billion holidays.
Yes, and you know when they did it on the commemoration of this or this, like it's always.
I don't know if you guys saw there.
Day.
I'm so familiar with the conspiracy theories regarding Charlie Kirk just because I've been at the fucking center of them, and sometimes I'll watch videos just to see when I come up. People have pointed out that the fucking courtyard apparently looks like a menorah, which is why they think it's Israel.
Yes,
it's like.
Oh man, like
it's fucking like
okay. What do we do? All right. Well, so in 1950, during the founding of the school, we have to plan 70 years ahead for a coming influencer who has yet to be born the next 30 years, and we have to leave clues that like will show like who. Like it's so insane to me. What's crazy to me?
Like, why would they even do that? Why would you leave that?
That's like so many conspiracy theories. Like there's 2 degrees of why before you're just like, I have no good explanation for this. But
for sure. But then they'll just pivot. They're like, well, I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Because they're rubbing it in our faces. They need to leave us clues. That's why you fold the $20 bill and it looks.
Or they
like
want to get caught. Actually,
yeah, and they want to get caught.
They've got like a psychological impulse to just like there's a.
Well, I was gonna say,
like that's Rob Noor's literal explanation for some of the shit where it's like, well, why would they do that and be so stupid and like do all this shit? Like, because they want to rub it in your face. They want you to know that they're dominating you and they can stand by the corruption.
Right.
It's part of it.
Yeah, they want to give you a chance to fight back against it because they think they're unstoppable or whatever. But I was going to
They're
say, you
hubris.
talk about the connections between this girl your brother took to prom, the fact that your brother was in a shooting and you were involved in this big shooting event. And what's crazy to me is like my conspiracy brain would look at that and be like, you're telling me that these coincidentally these two family members just happen to be completely unrelated shootings, and the more harrowing answer is not that you guys are all part of a Hollywood stooges hired by the FBI or Mossad. The harrowing answer is America has a school shooting and gun problem, and the coincidence is unfortunately all too common. Like there's
another brother that I have who was in not really a school shooting, but like there was
Second brother?
a second brother, yeah. And it's like, I mean, I do come from a big family. I'm a Mormon kid, born and raised. So like seven kids, 3 of us have been involved with a like in a school shooting, or well, the third guy, there was like a gun at the school, and then the guy approached him and was like, yo, tell me that you love me, or else, like, basically. And then he was like, what? I love you. You're fine, dude. And then like later he was arrested like 10 minutes after. So it's not like a gun went off, but like that's still like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just shit that happens in America.
That's
like,
why I always tell my bros I love them. Love you, dog.
True.
That is just standard, bro. That is
You
standard.
did just buy a firearm, Pisco. You got to tell him you love him more, just in case.
And my he doesn't he have like 2 guns now? Speak of the devil.
Who?
Hutch. We actually have a fourth member of this podcast who sometimes comes on.
Yes, he will sometimes come on when it's time to attack people. No, I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
You love Hutch, though, right?
I do love Hutch.
Hutch is your boy?
He's my boy. He's my boy.
You got to make sure to tell him that.
I love the news. I had a news question for Hunter. Hunter, do you fuck with the war?
Do I fuck with the war?
Yeah, do you fuck with it?
Fuck, I don't know the next lyric. I'm sorry. I nailed the first bit.
Do you fuck with it? What's
do
going
I fuck
on?
with
The
the war? Well, that was a little dicky
oil.
I
Yes,
do
it
not
was, it
fuck
was.
with the war. I think that Trump is. I would bet that he looked at his current approval rating, and then he's looking at the approval rating for Bush right after he went to war with Iraq, and he's like, "Shit, that's what we do. That's how you fucking do it." That seems a little conspiratorial.
Whoops.
I don't know.
Whoops. Yeah, like there's some reporting that he just like decided to do it one day because he was just getting like pissed or something. Like I believe
women are
I don't
too
put that
impulsive.
past him. He is so emotional. He is so impulsive.
He's a fucking baby.
Yeah. Like I really do think that he was getting a little full of himself. He did this whole thing with Delcy Rodriguez in Venezuela. He had the obliteration strike last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because like the big question everyone's asking is, what is the plan here? What is the long-term strat? And now Trump, speaking of approval rates, I don't think this is going to help. He says Mark Levin is like the incarnation of MAGA itself. I mean, he's doubling, tripling down. Even when at moments he seems like, oh, if we could only get a deal. So what's going on, man?
Yeah, I think someone put it really, really well, where I was giving my theory about like approval rating, and someone corrected me, and he was like, you don't understand narcissists that well, because Trump is a fucking narcissist, and he looks at the Middle East and he's like, no one has been able to solve this for 2,000 years. I can solve this. I can be the deal breaker. I can be the guy who goes, hey, let's just all get along and fix the issue and be the fucking hero. Because he really wants to be fucking celebrated. He wants to be the president that everyone thinks about when they think of the greatest president of all time. And I think that no one really told him that he can just do a good job. Right? He didn't think to go that direction. He went in a different direction.
If you make people's lives better, people are really like, you know,
Yeah.
I want to bomb Iran.
No, it takes work. But I don't know if there's a military solution to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. So he's kind of got himself in a bit of a quagmire here.
And he keeps saying that he knew that it was going to happen, but also that it was surprising, if I'm remembering correct.
Did he not say, correct me if I'm wrong, that everything is going fine in the Strait of Hormuz, like as it's like closing off, and he's like, oh, it's going to remain open. And I mean, like just empirically.
It's
like,
open, it's closed, the war just started, the war's ending. We're not doing ground troops. We might do ground troops. Like it's all contradictions.
And we said ground troops over last week. We didn't even cover that.
You have an expeditionary force there. I mean, he might deploy them. I think that he's likely to. I agree with IRI. I don't really see a military strategy that is going to address this absent a deeper commitment. And I don't think that the Iranians, I mean, look at it from their perspective. Assuming what we ought to assume about Trump's personality flaws, you don't think the Iranians are aware about that? And you don't think that they realize that they have to reestablish deterrence? And not any of the promises that Trump could offer. Imagine it really was like, okay, we really won't go after your oil infrastructure if you just open the Strait of Hormuz. They can't rely on that shit. No one can rely on that. They have to establish deterrence. And I think them doubling down on Khamenei's son when he was not favored allegedly by the late supreme leader shows that they want to have more hardliners. And the people, obviously, even if they're against the regime at base, they're going to rally against the invader killing their children.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you guys think that this will? I think most people are kind of against these. I will say that as often as I talk about the cult personality of Trump supporters, I do think that their base can be moved away from Trump. And I do think I've seen a consistent amount of people that this was kind of the last straw. I mean, Joe Rogan kind of famously is pushing away. Do you think that this is?
Joe Rogan's a lint roller, man.
I agree. Wait, hold on.
The last person. As soon
I'm not
as,
fucking.
Look, he can say all he wants about Trump. Trump is, totally went back on his word. He's deporting people in ways that don't make sense, and he's starting all these wars. And then you put a trans person in front of him, and he's like, "Whoa, actually, this is the #1 election topic. We need to stop this." This is So
I fully agree, but I also think that means that it's a weight. It's like pros and cons that he's constantly weighing in his head. It's like, I want to support this guy who's gonna start World War III? Well, he also is dealing with the trans people, so it's like, fuck. I don't really know. I'm gonna figure this one out. But sometimes that it will lean in the other direction where he'll go, oh shit, maybe I got to vote for a Democrat. I mean, he again famously endorsed Bernie. I don't think he's that ideologically fixed. I think he's stupid, but I don't think he's an ideological agent.
Trump is going to hold on to that support until there's an alternative. And voting for a Democrat right now, it's not satisfying that urge, what they're missing. So I think maybe as we get closer to 2028, somebody can step up and kind of appeal more to them, like saying, I'll release the full Epstein files, unredacted. You can trust me. Stuff like that.
This time we won't pull the football away, Charlie Brown.
Right. But right now, I'm seeing it, man. The firmware update was big this time for the Iran war. And this is a 47-year problem. They've been killing Americans. This is a threat to us, to the homeland. They snuck sleeper agents in. They're going to kill us. We got to do this. So I think even if you lose 100 soldiers a week, these guys would hold on for dear life.
Yeah. Well, actually, you bring up an interesting point. I forgot about this. Trump saying there are sleeper agents that came across the border thanks to the open border or whatever, and we know where most of them are. And the idea
we're watching them, he said.
Yeah, we're watching them. We're observing. The idea that we've done this mass deportation campaign against, potentially some of them are violent criminals, but a lot of people that probably don't deserve this. And you had eyes on people that are like secret terrorist sleeper cells, and you still haven't deported them. You haven't done anything.
Right.
And also you're admitting that there are some you don't know about. I don't think you're supposed to tell them that. But
it's all fucking bullshit. He doesn't have eyes on sleeper agents. It's just a way that he talks to his base, where he's like, "Guys, I'm dealing with the issue. I know that I haven't deported a lot of people."
He's a sleeper cell. Then he definitely has his eye on Tucker as a sleeper cell.
For sure.
Yeah. Ira, I thought you made a really great point, which was these people are going to stick with Trump. They're not ideologically consistent. And that is why my clip of the day, my beef of the day, I just put it in the private chat here, Mr. Soypill.
Uh-huh. Oh,
there are a lot of people who recognize this. There are a lot of people who recognize this reality. Now, some of them,
go, hey, you know what?
Oh my God,
are on this panel, and some of them are on breaking points. But one person, crucially, does not know this, and that's our good friend Cenk Uygur. Would you play the clip, please?
All right, Cenk, the most level-headed Democrat who's never said anything stupid. Let's go.
Should go, hey, you know what? Cut Medicare and Medicaid first. Don't worry about the Pentagon. Don't worry about the conflicts of interest. Don't worry about cutting the Pentagon. Cut the best parts of the budget first. No.
I guess where you and I disagree is I just do not believe that they actually are serious about any positive I don't believe they're going to cut the Pentagon, period. And so that I think that maybe partly why I come down in a different place, but also my position really is that with this particular project, because it is so pernicious to just give carte blanche to a group of billionaires with massive conflicts of interest, like some of the largest conflicts of interest you can imagine, I think to me the most important approach to that is just to oppose it. But I understand where I get where you're coming from, Cenk.
Can I want to address something to the audience. Can I?
Sure.
Is this my camera here? Okay, yeah. So right-wing populists, it is now your job to prove Crystal wrong.
Go out and do it, y'all.
So she doesn't believe you. And by the way, almost no one on the left, other than me and Anna, believe you guys that you actually want to cut the Pentagon and that you could pressure Elon Musk and Donald Trump to cut the Pentagon. So are you going to prove the left wrong, or are you going to prove them spectacularly right? Am I going to have to come on here and apologize to Crystal for ever believing in any right-wing populist and say, oh, I was a sucker. Those guys were liars.
Oh,
All they want to do was increase the Pentagon, have more wars, more corruption, and they never held Trump accountable. We waited 4 long years for them to hold him accountable, and all they did was kiss his ass and show that they don't really believe in freedom. They said all this stuff about freedom, but they never meant it. They said all this stuff about drain the swamp, but they never meant it. They said all this anti-war stuff, but they never meant it. We're going to come back on here in 1 year, 2 years, 4 years. And we're going to keep doing a check.
Hedge your bets a little harder there,
if
Cenk.
right-wing populists are frauds, I'm going to say, Crystal, you were right. There were frauds all along.
Oh, is he going to say it?
But I don't
Okay, so I
think
have a question for Hunter. So the question is for Hunter. The question is for Hunter. So this is the question. So they increased Pentagon spending, they cut Medicaid, they went to wars, and they're the most corrupt administration of all time. Would you say that Cenk is delusional or very, very, very delusional?
That's
and
great.
why won't he just acknowledge he's wrong?
No, I know.
Tell me that, Hunter.
I don't know. I don't think I watched Cenk enough to know what, because I mean the question that I have almost for every pundit, like, are you a true believer or are you a grifter? Like, are you doing this for the clicks and the money, or are you a believer, right? And I think Tucker Carlson is a grifter. I think Ben Shapiro is a believer. I think Candace is a believer. I think she's schizophrenic, but she's a believer. I don't know Cenk well enough to know if he seems like a believer who genuinely just, like, he does think fundamentally that he listens to these Republican pundits and he's like, well, they can't lie to me. That's not allowed. He seemed like such a good guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
go for it.
Sorry, I haven't talked to a ton. I mean, like, for example, Barry Weiss, right? Like, I was on the CBS town hall. She's one of the kindest people I've ever talked to behind the scenes. Like, she is a very earnest, thoughtful, kind person that I was very, like, I only like a 10-15 minute conversation with her, but she was very kind. And
I'm
I
texting
think
Candace,
that,
by the way, as you're saying this.
yeah, true. I think that it's super fair to go, like, well, when she does a bad thing, well, she's not lying, because I would know, right? I know what liars look like, and that's because they. I mean, I think Barry is a very sophisticated liar, where she's got enough charisma that it's not obvious to people.
Barry?
Yeah. She's got a rabid fan base.
Charismatic.
I'm just saying she's got a fan base. She's got a fan base.
I'm curious because, like, Ben Shapiro, I think he's authentic as a Republican, but he absolutely grifted towards the Trump side once it was clear that he could not.
I agree with you. I 100%
without
agree
being
with you.
pro-Trump, right?
I mean, there's a balance to all of this.
Okay,
There's
but he's less of a grifter than Tucker, who's like, okay, well, Qatar gave me money, all right, shifting everything, right? So
100%. I think Ben Shapiro genuinely believes in God, genuinely believes in Judaism, genuinely believe that Western Christian values are fundamentally better than anything else, and that upholding American conservatism is his number one goal. Okay. And if that means he needs to lie and pretend that Donald Trump is the answer to America, then he will do it. But that's because he believes in the end. It's not because there's a check coming in. I don't think, and I could be wrong about these guys. Like, I haven't met these guys, but that's
I'm not accusing Cenk. I want to be clear. I don't think that Cenk is Tucker. I'm not accusing him necessarily of being a grifter.
No, I'm not.
I'm saying that.
But I'm saying I don't think he sees grifters. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think
that's what's possible, because, like, the fact that they would glaze Tucker, Cenk is taking shots at AOC, at Bernie, at many more Democrats than deserve it with respect to the war. And it's frustrating for me because this is someone who, when he's on his right day, I think he can be very effective for the left, but he gets stuck in these in my opinion, a lot of these, like, interpersonal stuff with some people on the left, and he's just unwilling to own it. And when you're giving dues to Tucker Carlson is scum. He might actually have been an unregistered foreign agent. And, honestly, that could be the case. This could be a prosecution where, look at how he was with Putin and stuff. So I'm not saying that I know that he's not, or that I know that he is, but it's so frustrating to me that we give the benefit of the doubt to some of these people who are coming after Charlie Kirk.
And not to AOC.
The worst kind of concern. Yes, or not to AOC and to Democrats. Yeah.
Like it's this. I don't understand this like obsession with. I don't even know. So what the hell happened to the Young Turks? Genuinely.
I think it goes back to what you guys were saying a little earlier, where it's this idea that both parties are bad, and it's kind of a entry level view of politics, in that they're all corrupt, they're all terrible, and that's what Cenk plays on. I don't know. I think he's a smart guy. Obviously, he understands politics, but I think he's catering to that crowd where it's like their establishment, they're all bad, and they control it, and they're cut from the same cloth. I don't know. I think it's just money and clicks for him. I really don't think he genuinely believes what he says. I think I think he hates Israel. That's about it.
I do think I remember being 16 years old and seeing one politician lie and go, "What the hell?" And then the second politician lies, and it's like, "This is all of them." There's actually, I don't know. It's so, it does feel like 16-year-old behavior.
I also think he's against the war, and I think the public polling is showing that most American people are too, and that's just starting.
I think it's crazy that, like you said, what the hell happened to the Young Turks? Like, I think a few months ago, I was like, look, I really don't like a lot of their takes, but like, I don't think they're anti-Semitic. And then you got Iranian like saying Israel did 9/11 and doing like the merchant meme.
Oh, I totally forgot he did the 9/11 thing.
And Cenk is totally on board with, like, he's co-signing on all of this stuff.
Anna said, like, the Goys are waking up.
The Goyim are waking up. She reposted, and it's like, this
crazy.
Is insane. Like, this is like there's a account or some sort of like document on Twitter that's called like Post Left Watch, and it's like people that like are just not really part of the left anymore. Jimmy Dore, what's up with the TYT? They produce a lot of these people. You got Dave Rubin, Jimmy Dore, Emma Vigeland. I don't love all her takes, but at the very least, she's pretty consistently like pro-Democrat on the Majority Report, but they've got like a pretty bad track record for both their institution and the people that come out of it. And I don't know what's going on over there, if what's in the water at the office with the Young Turks, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I will say to the point about like interpersonal. You mentioned this with Barry Weiss. I think that it's upsetting because I found Anna Kasparian very interpersonally, nice. She was really good at debating Pearl on feminism. Mm-hmm. Which is like, that's where it's always just like, I wish we could all like unite.
Yeah.
Well, LeBron James really kicked that baby's ass in basketball. Like, great. Good job, Anna.
Okay. All right. Listen.
Yeah. Pearl is fucking.
Don't you fucking sorry me. No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, she is able to present herself well on stage. I think it can be nerve-wracking for people to go on those stages and to like,
what is this bar piece go? Oh my god, the media trained person is like, she's controlling herself while on stage.
All I'm saying is there's a reason why people watch TYT. They are charismatic. Cenk is charismatic. Yeah. He's funny. So all I'm just trying to say is I wish that we could all agree on who the enemy is, who the bad people are. And to me, the bad people are people running our government, people in control and making all the decisions that we collectively don't like. And maybe there are other bad actors too. And I would, by the way, include Israel among them. Fuck them for pushing us into the war, and the Saudis, apparently, according to reporting, for pushing us into this illegal, unjustified war. I fucking hate that. But yeah, go for it.
I will say that there is an irony here that I do think I want to be aware of, because I would bet, I mean, if I were watching this, I'd be like, hey, I think we're a little bit hypocritical here, because I was just talking about, I mean, we're shitting on the left right now, right? Cenk is largely anti-Trump, and we're kind of shitting on him.
I don't know. This whole clip is kind of like how Cenk...
No. I agree. Sorry, I'm not saying that. I want to resolve the tension. No, because I do think that
he gave Trump credit. Hold on, he gave Trump credit. Wait. Sorry, I have to say this. This is my prediction. Because this is what I said it on my stream earlier. In 2 weeks, if Trump decides he's bored or he's polling is whatever and pulls out, what do you think Cenk would say at that moment?
He'll be like, Trump ended this.
He would give Trump credit. He would say, "Thank God!" Like he's listening to the base of who are 90% plus in support of this action.
I fully agree. I know, all I'm saying is I think it's interesting that we talk about wanting to unite so often and stop eating each other alive because we hate fucking Cenk going after Democrats, and yet we are also going after Cenk, and I will continue to do so. But I don't even know how to resolve this in my own head because I know that I'm essentially right to do so, right? That like, but I do think the issue is that Cenk is going after people who just fucking. I don't know if I'm making sense here because when Hassan platforms like a Houthi pirate, you know, I'm like, fuck that guy for platforming who he's platforming.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, am I not also criticizing the left? Am I also not doing what you guys hate about Cenk? Do you understand that?
This is like a so much for the tolerant left moment, right? Where it's like, okay, let's not start fights. However, if you have people in your party who are completely undermining your entire platform, get them out of there, right? Like this is something you can call out and not.
It's a perennial conversation on this
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
This is a conversation we've had a lot.
Somehow, without Hutch, like, we were able to come to a Hassan moment.
It's crazy.
Actually,
yes, it was you. No, but we have this conversation a lot, and there are some areas where, like, I will tolerate a lot of dissent against Democrats. What I hate, though, is when people will either do a double standard or a fault, like give Trump the benefit of the doubt on this shit when he's praising Mark Levin as the hallmark of what it is to be MAGA. This is the guy
or the uni-party bullshit.
Yes. Or saying
I think the
95% of Democrats are owned. Crazy. They're owned by Israel, and that's just like not true. It's not true, and it's a thought terminating. AIPAC controls everything. AIPAC influences, no doubt. The Israel lobby, 100%. No one doubts they have influence on foreign policy in America. They've always had it. But that's not the same as saying Zog controls the government. It's all AIPAC, because that doesn't explain what we see when we see Democratic senators who take AIPAC money who are coming out strongly against the war.
It's lazy analysis.
Good things like exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Fuck. I guess we all agree on
shit.
I think Cenk is going to push the can down the road 10 years, and it'll be like, all right, maybe the right-wing populists weren't sincere in their beliefs to say they're anti-war and that they want to come together and coalesce and find some populist common ground. But it'll take them a couple, Trump's fourth term. That's when he'll finally do it, I think.
Honest question for you, Soy. Honest question. If it were Kamala Harris again versus Tucker Carlson, who would Cenk endorse?
Oh, my God. Oh my God. He might endorse. Oh, my God. That's crazy. Yeah, he might do that.
It does really fucking piss me off how often Tucker will use such dishonest interviewing techniques, but because he's going after like Republican politicians who are in support of the Iran, I think he went after Ted Cruz, if I'm remembering correctly.
He was with Huckabee, and he did some.
Oh, that's right. Too. Yeah. But he's
a liar. He's disgusting.
I'm like, dude, how are you guys being convinced by this? This is a bullshit argument. This is nonsense. I mean, yeah, they're both.
By the way, Huckabee said that he would be fine with Israel extending as far as like past the Jordan River. I forget where it was to. He was like, "Yeah, I'll be fine with like Israel extending to their religious mandate." So I mean, I think both are pretty disgusting. But
you expressed some credulity there, Guy. You don't think that like Cenk could be sucked into like a populist Tucker right wing candidacy?
I just think TYT is still the majorly on the left. They're not this sort of both sides like Marjorie Taylor Greene's kind of base because she's a populist. I think like 80% of TYT's audience is still on the left, and they would not be down for Tucker Carlson.
I will say that it kind of depends. It kind of depends on what the
platform is. Yeah.
I will because you look at someone like Hassan, who by the way has only ever been nice to me. Who's only played my videos and been like, yeah, this guy's great. Still, I don't like a lot of the things he does. You see him shit on Democrats, talk about this uni-party, talk about how it's literally the same, how Gavin Newsom and JD Vance are literal the same person. And then he has conversations with left-wing politicians like, I'm trying to remember. I think he had conversations with Rokana. Exactly. Or like Adam Mockler or something, like a lot of more of the like establishment kind of liberal politicians. He's like, I want to be a part of this. Like you guys, like I do want
Mockler's a Marxist-Leninist.
Exactly. Shout out Mockler, by the way. I love that guy.
Shout out to Comrade Mockler.
Exactly. Mockler. It just depends on like. I think that when we're in the middle of Biden's presidency, it's not advantageous for an audience to talk about how cool he is, because Americans don't like the status quo. They don't like what's current. They always hate the current president. So when Biden is president, it's fuck that guy, and then when Trump is president, it's fuck that guy. And I don't know. I think it's pretty dishonest, and
but
it just depends on when we're at or who he's talking to. He's cultivating this like this very far left uni-party strategy, or like uni-party argument towards his base. And then he wants to still go out and be politically effective. And that requires some cognitive dissonance. That requires him to essentially lie about what he said, or I don't know.
You think his 2 runs for office would have humbled him after getting his clock cleaned, but he still thinks the world of himself and his political views. Yeah, like it's one thing to talk your shit on the internet and, you know, have an audience, but it's another thing to go get some votes and get just creamed in elections, you know?
That's the thing about...
I will praise him for calling out Biden in terms of age at a time when... This is something I give him credit for, because I thought it was a mistake for Biden to run again, but I did keep quiet about it. I didn't like I might have mentioned it once or twice that I would have done it differently, but I wasn't like all the time saying, hey, this is a mistake. And you know what? I regret that. I think that Cenk was right on the money there. I thought that a lot of his pre-election coverage was good. That's why I was even, as we were get ready for the Trump administration, I felt betrayed when I saw that tweet from Cenk where he said he's feeling hopeful now, because I really did think that in that lead up, notwithstanding the fact that he's not allowed to be president, and that he failed. Yeah, he did fail at getting popular mass. I thought he was correct to notice something that I was being quiet about.
Sure.
So yeah, no. But I will say though that like it is for me a problem if you're trying to platform people like not platform. You're trying to promote as genuine good voices people like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker. I mean, that's disgusting.
It is. There's a weird. there's a very weird reality. I don't know. I feel like I listen to people like TYT or Majority Report, or a lot more of the, I don't know what to call them, like the leftists, I guess. And I think that they have this delusion that their policies are so much more popular than reality. I don't know. Like, you like Cenk was so fully convinced that you go fully for Medicare for all, you go fully for I don't know, like fully divest out of Israel, and you're gonna rise the ranks, because that's what people.
Did you see the Israel polls though, Hunter? Did you see the recent Israel?
Yeah,
polls?
They are pretty low. They are very low for sure.
I think it's insane change.
Yeah,
so we're seeing now. I think even in terms of who you're more sympathetic with, as between Palestinians and Israelis, and for Democrats, it's something like insane,
20% or something. Yeah. I think I saw 17% approval for Israel is what I last saw, but obviously there's 1,000 different polls. Yeah, no, I fully agree with that for sure. But I just think there's a delusion. There's a delusion about how popular your policies are, and that the idea is, and it stems from this idea that all politicians are corrupt, right? That like if you believe that the entire system is rigged, and all you need to do is go talk to the voter, and then they're gonna go to vote for you, and that's the whole issue. You just need one honest factor, and it's the Jimmy goes, or what's the old ass movie? Jimmy Goes to Washington, or whatever. Yeah. I forget the
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. That's all you need, is just like some honest actor who can defeat the bureaucrats, and then you realize the fucking voters actually don't like you, and the voters don't want their
but he doesn't
insurance
accept
companies. That. I know. No.
He said he blames the media. If only the media would let me speak,
And then he blames the income that he got, right? Yeah, the fact that they outpaced his donations, even though sometimes that's not true. I know Nina Turner ran like fucking 4 or 5 times and lost every time, and she outpaced her opponent in terms of donations and spending during the campaign.
Well,
and it's like
that was the evil money that came in.
Exactly. It's different.
Yeah, I think these guys are holding themselves back by constantly looking for things to blame, instead of just saying, hey, how can we improve our messaging? How can we, reach more people? Because that's the solution. You can't just sit around and fault other people for your failures. You don't get anywhere in life in general.
And part of that, I think, for Democrats, and we should learn. I think Democrats need to take advantage, and I think a lot of them are, of how unpopular this war really is and how much of a liability, if Trump gets bogged down, it will be for him in the midterms. I think that Democrats should not be voting to fund this war, and it's not a popular war.
Are you talking about
It's
Iran
especially
or Israel?
Iran, yeah, Iran.
Okay.
But both.
Well, what do you
now? Actually, both. Yeah.
No,
What
for
are you
sure.
suggesting, Pisco, as like voting against a supplemental package if it comes along?
Yes. So
Okay.
Me, like Dan Pfeiffer, I think that we should vote against the supplemental. I think that we should have had all Democrats. I know we lost 4 on the war powers resolution. I don't think there should be any dissent here. Now, I think by and large, we've seen a unified caucus among in virtue of the Iran war. But this is going to be a really excellent way to get to a lot of different issues that are liabilities for Trump. Liabilities for Trump, prices, the economy. This speaks right to it. Intervention, like being just a liar, right? Even though we all know that the no new wars thing was bullshit, they said it. They said it all the time, and so we can hold them to it. Another thing, Epstein files. I know it's a little disenchanting, and it's not true. I think it's a cope. I think that the Epstein files caused this, it's just a distraction. But these are just the kinds of things that this conflict brings out. This guy doesn't care about you. It's all about corruption. He's listening to foreign powers. He's getting us entangled in wars. He's raising prices. And so I think it's just a very useful opportunity for Democrats to make the most of it. I mean, think about 2006 when we were in the height of war. Democrats performed beautifully, and now I think even the betting markets have us favored slightly. Again, do not count your chickens before they hatch.
For sure,
to win the Senate.
I'd be shocked if we.
This
don't
will
win the
all
Senate,
be better. Yep, you'll be shocked. Really?
I look at how unpopular
the map is horrible. Right, I know.
I hear you, and especially if if the SAVE Act goes through, which I don't know.
I don't think it's going to.
I don't think it will.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
Well, real quick, before we wrap on the Cenk stuff and move on to the final stuff, I had forgotten, Guy, you debated Cenk, right, on Jubilee. Do you have anything from that in-person experience that was different from what you would have seen on TYT, or what was that like?
I mean, I was thrilled. I got to call him a political pickup artist. He just gives people press this one button and we'll fix it all. Like wearing a stupid red top hat to the bar, you'll meet all the girls. How about working on your personality, your fitness, your life? You know what I mean? And just meet a decent person. But
let's bring ice cream. It's the student body president in elementary school. It's just ice cream every day.
Oh, free this, free that.
Yeah,
that's from Mamdani, and he's based.
It was fun to say it straight to his face, but. No, I mean, like you guys said, these are nice people. I've met him and Ben Shapiro, debated him as well, and they're both nice people. I'm sure they're great to be around. But yeah, I mean, I just saw him scream about the donors and the establishment, and he said, "Brother, brother, brother, you can't accept crumbs." And I would tell him, but millions of people got health insurance.
Right.
Biden with his actions, that's crumbs. I go, it's not crumbs to the people who got it.
Whoa!
But just look at this mogging you do.
Look
to
at
him.
this Chad.
Like this absolute Chad versus the beta Cenk, just slouching in his chair. He's not holding frame. No,
I think Cenk's a handsome guy.
We gotta put some lines here.
I feel bad.
Straight everyone's.
He was pissed. Yeah,
he has the funniest faces too.
No, but yeah, it is very interesting that some people are sold by that interpersonal relationship. Like I was talking to someone who
they get charmed.
Yeah, I was talking to someone. I'm not going to call them out specifically, but he went on Tim Pool's show 3 or 4 times, and people were like, "Dude, that's a Russian asset." There was a ton of shit that came out that he accepted a ton of money from RT, and he was against he took Putin's side essentially, and he's like, no, he wouldn't do that. He's such a good guy, right? And it was
I can tell so there's someone in that sphere that I found very, very funny and nice interpersonally. Alex Stein.
I was going to say Alex Stein.
Alex
Terrible
Stein.
Guy.
Funny guy.
I met him too.
Yeah.
In
person, he was incredibly cordial. He actually at times in some of these debates, he felt like he was a more neutral arbiter than some of the other people. But you really can't get charmed, man. I mean, it's just so important for us not to get charmed by people.
Adam Mockler was telling me about how nice Michael Knowles was. Genuine, I don't know, whatever. We're looping, but yeah, I don't know. I think that people aren't aware of how nice these people can be behind closed doors, because they're not living their entire life with this fucking fire and vengeance. I don't know. They're still people at the end of the day.
They say Clarence Thomas is the nicest judge on the Supreme Court.
Really?
I've heard this from people
really
who have clerked. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
For what
sucks.
it's worth. I mean, they say it about Trump. They say he's really kind of. Bill Maher got charmed, if you recall.
That's
He's one of
true.
the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah,
Trump
yeah.
haters.
Yeah,
He's like, he was really
went to
nice
dinner
to me.
one time.
Okay.
He's like, shit. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
We
that's
gotta
what
give this guy a
Dog said
chance.
that about Hitler. They said, he pet me behind the ears and scratched, and my tail wagged and everything.
Right.
Right. For the last thing before we wrap up here, I know you have a debate at 6, right, Hunter?
I do.
Okay.
I'm
no,
doing a debate on the Road to Housing Act on Prime
Ooh.
Kai's panel.
Oh,
fun.
I'm Kai. Shout out Prime.
Well, let's get through the last thing relatively quickly because I don't have too much.
But I'm
to say.
prioritizing you guys, which is why
Aw.
I'm there and not here, or I'm
Very
here and not
Thank
there.
you. Thank you, Hunter. At least Hunter, one H name is prioritized.
True.
Live and learn.
We love you, Hutch.
Fuck, yeah, can we get a
It's
resounding
all
fuck Hutch?
love.
Remember? No, we love Hutch.
We love Hutch.
Yeah,
We
so
would never
there's
say
some,
what is it?
what?
Never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, you're right. We would never say it. There's some races, some primaries tomorrow. One of which is the cat. Abu
Yeah, you got it.
Gaza-
No.
Abu Gazela.
Abu
Is that how you
Gazela, is how you
pronounce
pronounce it?
Yeah.
Okay, Cat
I
Abu
think so.
Gazela, and I was
Abu
curious what your
Gazela.
guys' thoughts. I mean, she, this is directly tied into our last topic. Is I don't know if she's not from the Young Turks, but she's from Media Matters. She's very much a progressive sort of populist person, and if she wins the primary, I mean, it's a blue district. She's going to win that House seat. What are your guys' thoughts on her campaign and how that's going?
I endorsed her.
I've
Okay.
liked her a lot, and I know that this is kind of a weird point where I think she's right in between us and the Young Turks and Hassan because they're also endorsing her, but her foreign policy takes were very, very good, even though she got blown up on Twitter for that.
Oh yeah, for saying we would defend Taiwan.
Right, and that Ukraine shit, yeah,
based.
yeah, 100%.
That's the kind of shit I want to hear. I don't want to hear this we're spending too much in Ukraine. No, Ukraine is defending against the fascist.
Absolutely,
Russian
she hit
imperialist
that
threat.
hard. She's extremely
And
pro-Ukraine,
that's it.
extremely pro-Israel, extremely pro-Taiwan, and that's the
Is she?
Pro Palestine.
yeah. Oh, what did I say? Did I say
Pro
pro-Israel?
Israel.
No, yeah, she's not taking anything from impact. Sorry.
Wait a second.
Fuck.
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
a Mormon at
It's gonna
all.
get clipped.
Well,
Well,
but also she was I think good in that debate that she did, and she streams too, and is decent on.
I like her a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I really hope that she does well. It seems like she's got a really good chance.
Some of the discrediting, they said, oh, she used to be a Republican. I'm like, so did Elizabeth
Everyone.
Warren. And Elizabeth Warren is one of the more progressive
So did Hillary
senators we
Clinton.
have right now. So was Hillary Clinton. And it's
Mhm.
like, you can't hold that
And
against
Cenk.
them. That's to their credit. Yeah, and
And
Cenk.
me.
And it's like, and Hunter.
You were a Republican.
Yeah, I grew up
You one of the
Mormon,
Ayn
and I
Rand people?
was a huge Mitt Romney fan. I was like that
Mitt
fucking guy.
Romney,
My wife
yeah.
actually campaigned. That was her very first job was campaigning for Mitt Romney, and she spent like a year and a half doing that. And we were
You watch Sister Wives?
no, but my wife knows one of those people and went to church with
Oh.
him growing up. Yeah. Shout out. She was like, I don't know if I'm going to give the name away because I don't know if that's my right to do, but my wife was like, no, she sucks. She's an awful person.
There.
All right.
Did you guys see the controversy?
Wait, no,
on-
wait. Is sister? I don't know what Sister Wives is. I was talking about Real Lives of Mormon Wives.
Okay, different.
Probably the same. Similar.
I don't
the
follow
question?
any of this shit. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries.
did you
I didn't
guys
mean to
see-
distract.
There was some controversy that broke on Friday night, I think, over Kat's race, and that there's a story that influencers were paid $1,500 to write negative things, kind of not specifically about her, but just be careful of candidates that are like influencers. And some redhead guy on Instagram got busted and he had to apologize. And there was kind of a connection to Kat because her, I guess her husband or something, a podcast host was the person who kind of broke the story on MS Now. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. But if Cat Abu Gazela was involved in creating some dark money organization that paid influencers to talk shit about her, I think that's fucking gangster. And I think that's amazing. And that's the kind of bare knuckle politics I want to see from Democrats,
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
so
got a lot of
I don't
attention.
want them to lie. I don't want them to lie, but it would be kind of big.
Wait, so you're
I
saying
will-
that she paid people to talk shit about her?
It's possible that there's a dark money organization that nobody knows anything about. I forgot what it's called, like Unknown Democrats or something, and they have like no presence or anything, but they were sending money and offering money to influencers to talk shit about her, basically. And so people.
What's the conspiracy that she started it?
Yeah, why would she do that?
Yeah, why do we know that she did it?
Because the woman who was on MS Now breaking the story has a connection to her partner that they hosted a podcast together. So there was kind of a
So it's a little-
conspiracy
What a
that
weak
she might have been
fucking-
behind it.
That would be fucking wild.
But why would
what
she
a
do
fucking
that? Is it
because it's
so
like the effect of the Tallarico on the Colbert stuff. It's like the negative thing
totally.
that happened
Fair.
rally around.
Right,
the
like you
person.
create some negative
That was
story
crazy.
about you. Yeah.
Shout out Barry Weiss for getting Tallarico elected.
But by the way,
Allegedly.
I think I'm the only person who believes this conspiracy theory. Okay, I don't think anyone else is talking about it. But
You
I
think
think
she
it's
did it and you
gangster
think
if
it's
it's
good.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
You
good.
think she did?
I like that. These are the dirty tricks we need to do to win. You know, like you got to do what you got to do to win.
I do
Hey,
not.
I'm gonna be Hutch.
strategy.
I'm gonna be Hutch. You have to be pure, man. You gotta be pure.
Come on. Hutch would be
I'm
down for this.
joking. I'm joking. Yeah, I think it'd be done. I think it'd be done. I think you think it's awesome.
You got to
But
win.
no,
dude.
I think she should win. I hope she wins. But either way, I am excited about the Democratic selection that we have in front of us. Not just down the road for 2028, but now. And the Republicans seem to be a mess. Look at the
100%.
Texas primary. Maybe I know that you have to listen. I just wanted to, this one last thing. The what's his name? Harrington on CNN, X538. He showed that the polling is now closed between Cornyn and Paxton vis-a-vis Tallarico. It's a race no matter what.
Mhm.
That Cornyn recent polling says 2 points ahead of Tallarico, Paxton 1 point ahead. This is a race. And still, even though Trump signaled that he was going to endorse and that would decide everything, he hasn't done it yet. He's sitting on the sidelines. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
and even Lockshaw, who's pretty conservative, said like 25% chance maybe of a Democrat winning. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I would be too. Yeah, but Trump is holding out for the Save America Act. He thinks he can. I mean, he has pressured John Cornyn to abandon his position on holding up the filibuster in favor of passing the Save America Act. So he
in
thinks
exchange,
he can use
right? For the endorsement?
basically.
Yeah.
But he still hasn't endorsed. Peace goes right. It's good for us. But I wish people. I've said this before. I wish people would focus on the more winnable races for the Senate, like Ohio, for example. You don't hear anybody talking about Ohio.
Sure.
But I get it. People
Amy
are
Acton
excited about that.
Amy Acton consistently now ahead of Vivek Ramaswamy for the governor's race. We have Sherrod Brown,
Wow.
who's competing against. Oh my God, is it Moreno? What's his name?
No,
that's
Houston.
not him.
Houston, John.
Oh,
Houston.
that's it.
Yeah.
And
He replaced
that's a race
Jada.
too. Yeah. I think Ohio might be a must-win for us. I think
Well,
Ohio.
To win the Senate or what? What do you mean must win?
Yeah, so like obviously Michigan. We have to hold everywhere. Michigan, Maine,
Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Georgia we have to win, but I mean to gain, right? Oh wait, Michigan is not a.
Michigan is blue
Michigan will
right
be
now, but it's
retained.
going to be
Yeah,
empty.
never
Yeah.
mind.
No, we have to win 4 if we want to control the
Yeah.
Senate. So we have 47. So Maine, North Carolina are the 2 easiest, and then I
Yep.
think Alaska is the next one with Mary Patola. She's already won statewide, but nobody's talking about that. But I think
Yeah.
they will. I think they'll start to get into her race.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
like
it's a while till the
Alaska-
midterms.
Alaska, Texas, Florida.
Ohio. I would
What
say.
else? Ohio.
I'd
yeah.
say Alaska and Ohio are the next 2 after Maine and North Carolina.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I thought so.
Everyone's excited about Texas flipping. Like that's
What do you think the
Just-
chances are, Hunter?
for I don't pay attention to this enough. For Tallarico winning, fuck, I have no clue. I'm always just gonna cite a poll and just go that's
18%. 18%.
Very specific.
If you predict that and the next Middle Eastern war, you are
Exactly.
going to be the
Then I gotta be on CNN.
You're going to be on CNN. You're going to be TNT, Majority Report, everywhere. We'll parade
Hell
you.
yeah!
Well, I guess you already
it's that
were.
easy. Was
I
I on
was.
those places?
I said I guess you already were on a bunch of different. Yeah.
True.
Oh wait,
Probably.
Hunter, you've been to more prominent place. You were interviewed by real media.
Yeah. I was on 60 Minutes. I was on.
Yeah.
I just did a podcast with MS Now. Very like last month. It hasn't released yet. I've been on.
Wait, MS Now, the same cat Abu Gaza associated.
Wait a
MS
minute.
Now?
Wait,
And you
hold
happen
on.
to
Take off
be
that
at
mask.
several of these incidents.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, whatever.
You
Anyway.
started the Dark Money Fund and to try to
There
make
is
Cat look
like
better. Didn't you?
genuinely a little bit. Like
Period.
there is that feeling inside of me where I'm like, I'm going to joke about it. I'm like, I'm gonna be fucking clipped on some stupid ass YouTube video, and then 100,000 people are gonna watch it and get in my DMs, and it's
Yeah, you're
there's a little bit of that
sarcastic
fucking like
thing.
fuck, and it's not great. It's so annoying. I do hate these people. I really do hate conspiracy theorists. At the end of the day, like it is. It's been a lot.
I mean, he said Mossad on the podcast. He said he likes murder mysteries. He's friends with all
True.
these people.
He's real.
All these connections.
Yeah.
Well,
After
on
you-
that note, Hunter, what's next for you? Thank you so much for coming on. This has been great.
Yeah, absolutely.
what-
I'm doing
what-
a debate at Prime Kai. You should tune in.
Are you streaming
'cause
on
I'm
your
gonna be doing
YouTube?
that.
Your link tree
Mhm.
is in our description, but if there's better ways for people to find that.
Oh, I forgot to add my channels. I'm not streaming on my place. Whoops. I will be streaming on the Prime Kai thing.
Okay.
though.
So
All
yeah,
right,
guys, his links are in the description. If you want more Hunter, he's got Instagram, he's got TikTok, he's got YouTube, he's got
I'm Hunter
Ansley.
E. Kozak. If you look up my full name, you're just going to get a bunch of conspiracy theorist websites.
You might be
So
the most relevant Hunter right now, next to Hunter Avalon and Hunter Biden.
I feel like
I
Biden's
think-
way more than me.
I know, but he's not as
yeah,
relevant.
you got to start doing
You're-
crack.
Too
I,
late.
I would say I might be more irrelevant than Avalon, but Avalon blocked me like 3-4 years ago, so I never
Oh
knew.
wait, can we get like a 5-second story?
Yeah,
of
what
that?
for?
I don't even remember. I think I just called him stupid or something.
That's usually what it is. Okay.
That'll do it.
I never know.
Well, thank you for coming.
It's always
Hunter.
yeah.
It's been great. So yeah, guys, find him in the description, and more to come from him, definitely. Pisco, what do you got on this week?
Oh, this week? Oh, I think I have something. Oh, I'm not remembering. You're putting me on the spot. Definitely streams this week. Definitely we're streaming. But also we're gonna do legal stuff. So that's what's happening. I think I have something coming up, but I'm blanking.
Anything with like, I don't know, COSA Section 230 stuff? I know you talked to Taylor Rentz about it.
Oh, I talked to Taylor Renz, my best friend,
Oh.
and that started an entire whole like discourse that had nothing to do with what we talked about. It was just
Oh, did you
horse
shit on
shit
her?
away.
Hell yeah.
No, I didn't shit on her.
Yeah,
that much.
I think the title
No,
of
at
this
all.
video is Taylor Rentz owned by Legal Scholar, I think is what you called it.
No,
right?
it was like
Wow.
so we started the I wasn't trying to like get to chorus stuff, but like we just spent like 2 minutes on it, and now it's like, is Taylor funded by dark money? It's this whole thing, and it's like
Wait.
no one's talking about the COSA stuff. No one's talking about the stuff, and I'm just kind of sitting here with like
Like your
Well,
like
wait,
your
well, on that
fans are
note-
talking about chorus. Who's talking about chorus?
Destiny and Taylor Rentz are
Destiny
having,
and
a
Company,
fight.
yeah, and they're
That's
like
why.
they're having a little fight.
But on that note, Taylor wants to spread the word more about Section 230, and I'm going to do a stream with her on Friday about that. So tune in. I'm going to not mention chorus because I want to talk about it. I think Section 230 stuff is really scary, and I want to talk about that. It's more important. So no matter how you feel about Taylor, all right,
Trying to
we're
work
going to
with
come
her?
together. This is the unite the left moment, all right, guys? Fight against the shitty bills.
Good luck.
Don't make
Yeah.
it a video because it'll get review bombed to fuck.
Oh no, no, it'll be a video. We'll see. Guy, what you got?
Good
going on
luck.
this
Good
week?
luck.
Nothing exciting. I am back on I'm still on my TikTok debate grind. I've got highlights that are getting posted now as clips. So if you guys
Oh,
want
hell
to get a
yeah.
little taste, head over to my page and you can watch.
I don't think
a
I
minute
follow.
and a half.
I'm mostly on TikTok. We should do.
Oh
we
yeah,
should do
Hunter
debates
does
sometime.
TikTok debates too.
I
I
do
saw
them
you
all.
were
Oh, yeah.
thinking of including Pisco. Hunter could throw in there. You could eventually we'll have like the gangbang six. Like Josiah will come back, Hutch will come back. We'll
Hell
all
yeah.
shit on
Gangbang
one
six.
Trump's. Yeah, well, all 5 guys, 6 guys shitting on one guy, just bukakaing leftist points all onto his face. That'd be
Incredible.
great.
Hell yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. This has been learned. Oh wait, big
Michael's gonna go
announcement.
jack off.
No, not next week. I think we have Brad Palumbo on, right?
Yeah, maybe.
No
Yes.
way.
Yeah,
That's
the
sweet.
23rd is next week. So Brad Palumbo's next Monday, and I think Taylor wants to come on. And I said, hey, are you sure Hutch is gonna come after you? And she said,
Shit, that'd be fun.
I have important things to talk about, so she might want to come on the 30th. We'll see.
Hell yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it. Oh wait,
But,
30th. I'll make it.
You'll make it. You'll make it for Taylor, your best friend.
That's my best friend.
All right, thanks, guys.
Love you
Live
guys.
and learn. Thank
Yeah.
you. Hunter.
Stay cool.
All right,
Fun
appreciate
stuff.
it.
Stay
Thanks
cool.
for having me on.